Nobody warned you about this part. They told you that feeling deeply was a gift, that understanding people the way you do was rare, that your ability to walk into a room and read everyone in it to know who was hurting before they said a word was something most people would never have. And they were right. What they did not tell you was what it was going to cost, what it was going to take from you over years of giving it away to people who never once stopped to ask if you were okay. What it was going to do to the part of you that kept showing up, kept absorbing, kept feeling, long after that part of you had nothing left to give. This video is not the empathy-as-superpower version. You have seen that video. You have probably shared it. You probably cried a little reading it because someone finally described you correctly. This is the other video, the one about what it actually costs to be you. And I need you to stay with me until the end, because the last thing I am going to tell you is the most important thing anyone has said to you about this. Let me start with something you probably have not admitted to anyone. You are tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, not the kind of tired that a weekend solves or a holiday repairs. The other kind, the deep kind. The kind that lives in your chest and has been there so long you stopped noticing it as tiredness and started assuming it was just who you are. You have been carrying other people's emotional weight for so long that you cannot remember what it felt like to put it down. Think about the last week. How many times did you feel something that was not yours? Someone's anxiety entering your body before they even spoke. Someone's sadness settling into your afternoon. Someone's tension making you tense without a single word being exchanged. How many times did you absorb it, process it, carry it? How many times did anyone carry yours? And here is the question nobody ever asks the deeply empathetic person. Who feels it for you? When you are the one who is not okay, when the weight finally gets too heavy and something in you breaks a little, where do you go? Because the people who came to you with their pain, the ones you held at midnight, the ones you talked down, the ones you showed up for again and again, they received a person who could feel everything. When you are the one who needs that person, you look around and find nobody who can do what you do. And that loneliness, the specific loneliness of being the most feeling person in every room you have ever been in and having nobody who can feel back at your depth, is the first way that being too empathetic is slowly destroying you. But here is the darker part, the part that is harder to name because naming it requires admitting something about yourself that feels uncomfortable. You have started to resent the people you love. Not because they are bad people, not because they did something wrong, but because you have given so much, so consistently, so completely, for so long that the giving has started to hollow something out. You show up, they take. You show up again, they take again. Not maliciously. Most of them do not even realize they are doing it, because you never showed them the cost. You absorbed the cost so completely, processed it so privately, that from the outside, you always looked fine. So they kept coming, and somewhere in the last year, maybe the last few years, you started to feel something underneath the care that you have never fully admitted to yourself. Resentment, the quiet kind, not the angry, explosive kind that announces itself, the kind that arrives as a slight heaviness when a certain person's name appears on your phone, the kind that shows up as a tiredness that begins before the conversation even starts. The kind that has been building so slowly and so quietly that you have been able to pretend it is not there. But it is there, and it has been there for longer than you want to admit. And here is what nobody tells you about empathetic resentment. It does not mean you stopped caring. It means you cared so much and gave so much with so little coming back that some part of you is trying to protect what is left. The resentment is not a character flaw. It is a warning sign. From a nervous system that has been running on empty for too long, and it is telling you something you have not been willing to hear. Now here's the thing about highly empathetic people that the superpower videos will never tell you. You are easy to exploit, not because you are naive, not because you are weak, but because you have a specific combination of qualities that certain people, not all people, specific ones, will find and use with remarkable efficiency. You feel what others feel, which means you respond to their pain before they even ask you to. You understand people's behavior in context. which means when someone does something that should end the relationship, you explain it away. You understand the fear underneath it. You see the history that produced it, and your understanding keeps you in situations that your self-respect should have ended long ago. There is a specific type of person who moves through the world looking for someone like you. Not predators in the dramatic sense, often just damaged people who found a safe place and settled in. Who found that you would feel their pain for them, and who never once, not because they were evil, but because you never made them had to develop the capacity to feel it themselves. And here is what that does to you over years. It does not just take your energy, it takes your trust. And now, the part that the superpower videos definitely do not show. The depression that comes specifically from feeling too much for too long. This is not the same as regular depression. It does not arrive from emptiness. It does not come from numbness or disconnection. It comes from the opposite. It comes from a nervous system that has been so consistently flooded by absorbed emotion, by processed pain, by the relentless experience of feeling everything in every room, that it has started to shut down sections of itself just to survive. You started to feel less. Not because your empathy is gone, but because the system that delivers the feeling has been running at maximum capacity for so long that it started rationing. And the first thing it rationed was the good stuff. Joy, excitement, the lightness that used to come easily, the genuine pleasure of a good moment that did not have to be earned or justified or processed through the weight of everyone else's experience. Those got quieter, and the weight stayed. So what does this mean? What do you do with all of this? Not the advice version, not the set boundaries and practice self-care version that takes 10 seconds to say and has nothing to do with how deeply this is wired into you. The real answer starts with one thing. Your empathy was never meant to be a donation. It was meant to be an exchange. Real connection, the kind that actually sustains people who feel deeply, is not one person absorbing and another person receiving. It is two people who can both hold what is heavy. Two people who can both be seen. Two people where the feeling moves in both directions. You deserve someone who does for you what you do for everyone else. Someone who walks into the room and feels that something is off with you before you say a word. Someone who absorbs a little of your weight without you having to ask. Someone for whom your depth, the full, unmanaged, unregulated depth of what you feel and how you feel it, is not too much, but a landing place. And here is the last thing. The thing I told you I was going to tell you. Your empathy has not been destroying you. The way you have been using it has. There is a difference between feeling everything and carrying everything. Feeling is what you are. It is the capacity you were born with or developed through what your history required of you. It is not a problem to be solved. Carrying that is the behavior. The choice, and I know it has never felt like a choice, but it is to take the weight on and hold it indefinitely. For people who cannot carry it themselves. In relationships that have never given back what they take, that part, the carrying that, is the thing that has been slowly depleting you. Not your sensitivity, not your depth, not the way you love people. If this video said something you needed to hear and were not ready to hear, this is what this channel does. Every week, always this honest, always this deep. Welcome to Decoded Psyche. Join now.